magnetic phrases that instantly attract women, backed by psychology. Stoicism, modern stoic. The best thing to hold on to in life is each other. Audrey Hepburn. You've probably heard all sorts of advice about how to attract women, but let's be honest, most of it misses the mark. It's not about being the tallest, richest, or most handsome guy in the room. It's not about fancy cars or cheesy pickup lines that feel more like scripts than real conversation. The truth is, what really makes the difference in how women respond to you is much simpler. And it all comes down to one thing: the words you choose in the first few moments of conversation. Right now, there are countless men having boring, forgettable interactions with women, while others are effortlessly sparking real connection with just a few carefully chosen phrases. These men don't try to impress or force anything. Instead, they know how to make a woman feel drawn to them without even realizing why. What's the secret? It's psychology. Over years of coaching and observing thousands of real-world interactions, I've discovered 3 incredibly powerful phrases that tap into the natural, instinctive responses women have when they feel truly attracted. These phrases can instantly create curiosity, build genuine chemistry, and make you stand out. No tricks, no games. In fact, one of these phrases is so effective that women will often text their friends about you right after hearing it. Another will have her hanging on every word you say. And the third is my personal favourite for creating instant and undeniable chemistry. If you're ready to completely change how women respond to you and take your social skills to a new level, keep reading. I'm about to reveal these 3 phrases that will make you unforgettable in any conversation. Phrase 1. The unfinished thought. In conversations, there's an undeniable power in leaving things unsaid. When you begin to share something but don't complete your thought, it instantly ignites curiosity. It's not some psychological trick. It's how our minds are wired. People are naturally drawn to the unknown. They want to know the rest of the story. You can use this to your advantage. Imagine a situation where she shares a personal detail or a story. The key is to subtly drop a hint and leave it unfinished, like saying, "You remind me of, actually, never mind," or "There's something about you that, no, it's not important." Don't overthink it. Just drop the remark casually, as though it popped into your head unexpectedly. Then, switch topics naturally, as though nothing out of the ordinary happened. In doing so, you'll create an intriguing dynamic that will draw her in. Her mind will wonder what you were about to say. The curiosity will often lead her to ask you about it later, or give you a look that signals she's eager to know more. This approach doesn't force a connection, it invites one. It stirs interest, creating a natural flow in the conversation that keeps both of you engaged. When she does ask, and chances are she will, you're prepared with a genuine and thoughtful observation, something that's more than just a compliment about her looks. You might say, "I was going to mention that you have a really thoughtful way of explaining things," or "You remind me of someone who is comfortable being themselves." These aren't throwaway lines. They're honest, sincere reflections that show you're truly listening and paying attention, which is something that sets you apart from guys who rely on rehearsed pickup lines or forceful approaches. Remember, this isn't about manipulation or playing games. It's about creating deeper, more authentic connections through real conversations. The beauty of this strategy is in its simplicity. You're not trying to impress her with clever tricks. You're giving her the space to wonder and engage with you on a more meaningful level. Let go of the notion that every word has to be perfectly timed or thought out. What matters most is your ability to create an atmosphere of curiosity and intrigue. Trust that when you let the conversation flow naturally, without the pressure of constantly needing to perform, you'll stand out from the crowd of men who try too hard. The most magnetic interactions aren't about saying the perfect thing. They're about saying just enough to make her want to learn more. This is how you build real connections. As a man in your 30s to 70s, applying this principle will take you far in personal relationships. It shows maturity, confidence, and the ability to read a situation with subtlety. In a world where everyone is trying to force the next line or impress with external qualities, you'll be the one who stands out as someone who doesn't need to say everything. Because what you don't say keeps the conversation alive and magnetic. Think about it. The next time you're talking to someone, leave them hanging just a little. Watch how their curiosity draws them in, and how the conversation evolves into something deeper. Don't underestimate the power of a well-timed, unfinished thought. It's one of the simplest, yet most powerful tools in building attraction and connection. Take this advice and use it in your everyday interactions. Let me know how it works for you. Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Phrase 2. The secret compliment. Most compliments fail because they are shallow, predictable, and easy to ignore. Think about it. How many times has an attractive woman been told, "You're beautiful"? By the time she reaches her mid-20s, those words have become nothing more than a hollow echo, a constant hum she's grown numb to. But what if there was a way to break through this barrier, to make her feel something that hits deeper than her appearance? That's where the secret compliment comes into play. Unlike typical flattery, which often feels insincere, a secret compliment focuses on something much more meaningful: her character, her skills, and the unique qualities that make her who she is. This approach works because it reaches beyond her outer beauty and taps into her inner sense of self, showing that you see her for more than just her looks. Psychology backs this up. Researchers from Princeton have shown that compliments about a person's abilities are far more attractive than comments about their physical appearance. In fact, compliments centered around her character are not only more memorable, but also create a lasting emotional impact. This is why, when you notice something distinctive about her behavior or intellect, it lights up her brain's reward centers, making her feel more deeply connected to you. So how do you deliver a secret compliment that resonates? Timing is everything. The best moment to offer a meaningful compliment is when she has just shared something authentic about herself, perhaps a belief, an opinion, or a moment of vulnerability. In these instances, you've got the chance to craft a compliment that feels not only real, but deserved. Be specific with your words. Don't say, "You're smart." Instead, try something like, "The way you explained that idea shows real depth of understanding." This isn't just a compliment, it's an observation, and it shows that you're paying attention to her in a way that others might miss. The key here is authenticity. Only compliment what you truly notice. A compliment that rings false won't create the same connection, no matter how well it's delivered. So don't be afraid to get specific and call out her unique talents or qualities. For example, most people wouldn't notice, but you have an incredible gift for making people feel heard. Works because it acknowledges something rare and valuable. Or, "I noticed when you insert specific action. It really showed me how thoughtful you are." Another great example: "You've got this rare blend of confidence and warmth, something you don't come across every day." These are compliments that speak to her personality, her actions, and her essence, not just her appearance. However, it's not just what you say that matters, it's how you say it. The delivery of your secret compliment is crucial. First, make sure you give her a moment to let her words and thoughts sink in. A brief pause before you speak shows that your compliment comes from a place of genuine reflection. Maintain soft eye contact, but avoid staring. It should feel natural, not forced. Once you've given the compliment, move on without expecting validation or a response. This shows confidence and emotional control, traits that are inherently attractive. What happens in her mind when you deliver a compliment like this? Initially, there's surprise. She'll think, "Wait, he noticed that about me." Then comes a sense of validation. Finally, someone sees the real me. And as these emotions settle, attraction starts to build. She'll start thinking, "I want to be around someone who really gets me, someone who sees me beyond the surface." The beauty of the secret compliment lies in its simplicity and the depth of connection it creates. When you take the time to recognize her unique qualities and give praise that is sincere, specific and reflective of what truly makes her stand out. You show her a side of yourself that others rarely do. You're not just giving a compliment, you're offering insight into who she is at a deeper level. This is what drives attraction. Remember, it's not about being charming or saying the right words. It's about being present and noticing what others don't. Make this part of your mindset, and you'll find that attraction becomes a natural byproduct of the way you relate to her. Advanced technique. The compliment sandwich. If you want to master the art of captivating a woman's attention, you need more than just good looks or empty flattery. You need authenticity, presence, and the subtle power of psychological insight. One of the most effective tools in your arsenal is the compliment sandwich, a technique that not only demonstrates your emotional intelligence, but also aligns with the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. This method involves weaving a compliment into a conversation in a way that feels genuine and thoughtful, highlighting deeper qualities beyond just surface-level traits. For example, instead of merely commenting on her appearance, focus on her actions, thoughts, or values. When you took the time to include Sarah in the conversation earlier, it really showed your awareness and respect for others. This statement is far more powerful than any compliment about her physicality, as it taps into her character. It's not just about offering praise, it's about noticing the subtle, often overlooked qualities that reveal a person's depth. However, let me warn you, this technique can backfire if you don't master the art of delivery. If the woman responds with a simple "thanks" and doesn't engage further, you've missed the mark. Your compliment was too generic, lacking the depth necessary to capture her true attention. If she seems uncomfortable, it's likely you've come on too strong, too soon, with a compliment that felt forced or invasive. And if she questions your sincerity, it's clear that your words lack the specificity required to show real insight. Complimenting a woman requires not just observation, but a genuine understanding of her as a person. Here, the Stoic wisdom of Marcus Aurelius comes into play. He famously said, "Look beneath the surface." To compliment a woman effectively is to follow this Stoic principle. It's about noticing the subtleties of her behavior, her thoughtfulness, her values, and acknowledging these qualities with clarity. When you do this, you demonstrate emotional intelligence. You show that you're not just a passive observer of the world around you, but an active participant, attuned to the deeper currents that shape a person's character. This is what makes you stand out. You aren't just any man. You are a man who sees beyond the obvious, who notices what others might overlook. This is not a mere technique. It's a reflection of who you are at your core. When you compliment her with genuine observation, you make her feel seen in a way that's rare. No more "you look great tonight" or "nice dress." These are shallow, quick fixes that dissipate with time. Instead, focus on something authentic. When you shared that story about your trip to Paris, it showed me how much you value adventure and culture. It's inspiring. Here's your challenge. The next time you're in conversation with a woman, find something authentic to compliment about her that has nothing to do with her appearance. Look for the deeper layers, the kindness in her eyes, the passion in her voice, the respect she shows others. Compliment those traits. Watch as her response shifts. She'll engage with you more deeply, feel more connected to you, and respect you on a whole new level. And that's the type of interaction that can lead to something far more powerful than fleeting attraction. It can build a genuine connection, one built on depth, understanding, and emotional intelligence. Remember, your power is in your ability to notice, to be present, and to articulate what others miss. This is the power of the compliment sandwich, and it's rooted in the timeless wisdom of the Stoics. By practicing this technique, you demonstrate not only your own value, but also your capacity for seeing and appreciating others on a deeper level. So, the next time you speak to a woman, don't just throw out empty praise. Speak from a place of insight, from a place of real understanding. You'll be amazed at the results. Phrase 3. The reverse question. Here's a powerful truth most men never learn about attraction. The person asking the questions controls the conversation, but the one who reverses them controls the connection. It's not a game. It's the key to mastering the unspoken art of intriguing dialogue. When you learn to master the reverse question, you unlock the ability to turn ordinary small talk into an electrifying exchange where she finds herself working to impress you. Why does this work like magic? It taps into a psychological trick women are subconsciously used to. Every woman has her interview mode, where she gets bombarded with predictable, boring questions like, what do you do for work? Where are you from? And what are your hobbies? These questions create a pressure-filled situation where she feels like she has to perform. The reverse question flips that dynamic. It positions you as someone who is selective, not desperate for attention, and creates a subtle shift in power. Instead of her qualifying herself to you, you make her work to earn your interest. This builds playful, yet palpable tension that fuels attraction. Here's how to execute it flawlessly. When she asks you a personal question, whether it's, why are you still single? What do you do for fun? Or, what are you looking for? You answer with one of these responses. Why do you think I am? Or, what's your guess? Or, I could ask you the same thing, but I think I already know the psychology behind the magic. These responses force her to stop thinking of you as an interview subject and start thinking about you. It turns the tables by making her guess about you, which makes the conversation far more intriguing. She might end up revealing more about herself in the process, while you stay enigmatic and composed. And the phrase, I think I already know, adds an irresistible layer of mystery that will keep her hooked. Real-life example. A client I worked with shared this exchange. Her, so why is a guy like you still single? Him, what's your theory? Her, maybe you're too picky. Him, interesting. What would make someone too picky in your eyes? This simple reversal takes the conversation out of the interview territory and turns it into a dynamic, flowing exchange. To elevate this technique, use advanced tactics like the eyebrow raise. When you say, I think I already know, pause and briefly glance at her lips. Then, slowly build a smile as she answers. This creates natural, magnetic tension. Another advanced tactic is the bait and switch. After she answers your reversed question, say, close, but the real reason is even more interesting. This builds intrigue and keeps the conversation electric. But beware of common mistakes. Don't use the reverse question for simple, factual questions like, where do you live? It's not about evading genuine conversation. It's about keeping the interaction engaging and intriguing. Another mistake is overusing the technique. If you rely on it too much, you'll come off as evasive. Finally, be prepared with a solid answer when she insists on an explanation, or else you risk losing the intrigue. Remember, attraction is about power, but not in the way most men think. It's not about being dominant or controlling. It's about creating a dynamic where you're the prize and she has to earn your attention. Don't be afraid to make her work for it, and you'll see a magnetic shift in how she perceives you. Use the reverse question wisely, and you'll transform mundane conversations into memorable, electrifying exchanges. This is the art of mastering attraction. And let me remind you, you have to start using this in real life to experience its power. So next time you're in a conversation, remember, flip the script, make her work for your attention, and tell me in the comments how it worked for you. The Stoic wisdom behind this. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." This timeless principle is more than just a philosophical quote. It's the backbone of mastering attraction. It's not enough to simply react to what's happening in a conversation, especially when you're engaging with someone you're interested in. You must consciously shape every interaction, making sure you don't fall into predictable patterns of behavior. When a woman asks you a personal question, don't just give her the answer she expects. Flip it back at her with a playful twist. Watch how her interest skyrockets. It's in those moments of unpredictability that you truly capture attention. This approach isn't about manipulating anyone or playing games. It's about embodying calm confidence and showing up as your most authentic self. These phrases aren't just words. They're a reflection of a mindset that women find irresistible. It's the confidence that you don't need anyone's approval to feel good about who you are. Remember, attraction doesn't stem from desperation. It grows from self-assuredness, from a place of inner strength and balance. And this is where Stoicism steps in, a philosophy that teaches you to control your responses and not be swayed by external circumstances. When you apply this to your interactions with women, you're not just speaking words, you're letting your composure and confidence speak volumes. But let's be real, knowledge without action is worthless. Just reading about these strategies won't change anything unless you put them into practice. This week, I challenge you to choose one of these techniques, a question flipped back, an unfinished thought, or a subtle compliment, and test it in the real world. Pay attention to how different the response is when you stop seeking validation and start creating intrigue. You'll notice a shift in how women perceive you. They won't see you as a man desperate for attention, but rather as someone who is interesting, confident, and in control of the situation. Real-life examples are what make these techniques powerful. Apply them, and you'll see the kind of reactions that make you understand the true power of attraction. It's not about forcing chemistry, but rather about creating an environment where chemistry can naturally thrive. When you stop chasing and start engaging on a deeper level, you open the door to real connection. Phrase 4. The subtle mystery. To truly attract women, you need to master the art of crafting phrases that spark curiosity and capture attention. One powerful tool in this arsenal is what I call the subtle mystery. This isn't about being elusive or playing games. It's about creating an air of intrigue that naturally pulls people in. Think of it like this. When you say something like, "You seem like someone with a lot more depth than meets the eye," you're not giving away all your cards. You're inviting the woman to explore more about you, to wonder what lies beneath the surface. You see, women are drawn to complexity. They're not interested in the shallow or the predictable. You need to show them that you are someone who can offer more, without spelling it out for them. This is where psychology and Stoicism play a role. By tapping into the art of subtlety, you give her space to think, to reflect, and to feel a sense of curiosity that makes her want to engage with you further. You're not trying to impress her with grandiose claims or empty flattery. You're offering her a glimpse into something deeper, something real. And that's powerful. But don't stop there. The key to this technique lies in how you deliver it. It's not about the words you say, but how you say them. When you speak with confidence and without rushing, you're showing emotional control, something that the modern Stoic man understands well. This controlled confidence is magnetic. Women are instinctively drawn to calmness, to a man who is unshaken and secure in who he is. By saying something like, "You seem like someone with a lot more depth than meets the eye," in a relaxed tone, you create an aura of confidence that invites her to trust you and want to learn more. The key takeaway here is simple. Mystery combined with confidence equals attraction. It's a powerful formula. You must make it a part of your communication style, both with women and in everyday interactions. Relating this to modern life, we live in a world that's fast-paced, where people tend to put everything out on display. It's easy to get lost in a sea of shallow conversations and instant gratification. But you, as a man who practices Stoicism, know that true value lies in patience and self-control. You don't need to rush to reveal all of yourself to someone. Just as in the art of war, it's about strategy. Hold back, give just enough to intrigue, but never so much that the mystery is lost. In today's world, standing out isn't about being louder or more brash. It's about being steady, calm, and offering a small taste of what lies beneath the surface. You must not reveal everything at once. You must keep some things hidden. This makes women feel compelled to dig deeper into who you are, and that is when the real attraction begins. Don't be afraid of silence or pauses in conversation. Use them to your advantage. Allow the space between words to stir her curiosity. Imagine you're sitting across from her, and instead of rushing to fill the silence with meaningless chatter, you simply say, "I'm glad we could talk. You seem like someone who has a lot more depth than most people I meet." Pause. Let that sink in. Now she's thinking, wondering about what more there could be to you. She wants to know more. It's that simple. You've planted the seed of mystery, and with time, it will grow into something much deeper. This is how you attract women, not by revealing everything right away, but by giving them just enough to spark their interest. So don't rush it. Don't give everything away in your first conversation. By practicing the subtle mystery, you invite the type of curiosity that leads to connection and attraction. It's a powerful technique rooted in psychology, Stoicism, and emotional control. It's not about tricks or games. It's about being authentic and letting your natural complexity shine through. Women aren't looking for a one-dimensional man. They're looking for someone who has layers, someone who's intriguing, someone who can keep them guessing in the best way. Let the subtle mystery become part of who you are. As a man who practices modern Stoicism, you understand that sometimes the greatest strength lies in restraint. Don't be afraid to show her that there's more to you than meets the eye. Phrase 5. The imperfect flaw. In the pursuit of attraction, one of the most powerful tools you have is embracing your imperfections. Don't hide behind a mask of perfection. This is a trap. Women are not drawn to flawless beings. They are drawn to real, authentic people. Think about it. You've probably heard the phrase, "Nobody's perfect," but what you may not have realized is that this is not just a cliche. It's a universal truth that connects all of us. You might be thinking, but why would showing weakness attract someone? The truth is, vulnerability has a magnetic effect. When you reveal something imperfect about yourself, such as, "I have a terrible habit of overthinking things, but it keeps life interesting," you're offering a glimpse into your human side, making you more relatable. You're no longer an unreachable ideal, but someone with whom a real connection can form. This simple act of honesty builds trust and invites others to feel comfortable around you because they see you as someone who doesn't need to wear a mask. This is where the art of attraction begins, not with pretending to be something you're not, but by showing exactly who you are, flaws and all. Modern Stoicism teaches us the power of accepting our limitations and embracing the reality of our situation. It's not about acting as though we have everything under control, but rather accepting that we don't. That's the beauty of vulnerability. In today's world, where social media thrives on portraying perfect lives, offering a glimpse into your imperfect self actually sets you apart. It's rare to see someone who isn't putting on an act, and this rarity is what captures attention. Imagine you're in a social setting, and you're the one who isn't afraid to laugh at yourself, to admit that sometimes you overthink things. Instantly, others feel like they know you because you've shared something real. The problem many men face is the fear of showing vulnerability. We've been taught that vulnerability is weakness, but in reality, it's one of the most potent tools you have to attract and connect with people. Think about the men in history who have captivated the hearts and minds of others, not because they were perfect, but because they were deeply human. The philosopher Marcus Aurelius, one of the most revered Stoics, was not celebrated for his flawless life, but for his ability to confront his flaws and learn from them. His diaries, filled with reflections on his struggles and imperfections, continue to resonate with readers today. He didn't try to hide his vulnerability. He embraced it. And it worked. Women aren't looking for a man who pretends to have it all together. They're looking for someone who is grounded, who knows his strengths, but also recognizes his weaknesses and is willing to grow. That's the modern Stoic in action, acknowledging imperfection without being defeated by it. When you reveal something personal about yourself, you create a bond. It's a subtle but powerful signal that says, "I trust you enough to show you my true self." This is far more attractive than projecting an image of perfection. Remember, when you're authentic, you're no longer trying to impress anyone. You're just being yourself. And that is what women are looking for. Real connections, not facades. To attract the right woman, you must first be willing to attract her with the truth of who you are. This doesn't mean oversharing or becoming overly self-deprecating. It means acknowledging that you are not perfect, but you are working on being the best version of yourself. That's something that doesn't just attract attention, it commands respect. So here's the advice. Stop trying to hide your flaws. Instead, embrace them, show them, and use them to your advantage. Be the man who's confident enough to say, "I'm not perfect, but I'm real," and let that authenticity be your magnet. The imperfect flaw is not something to fear. It's the doorway to deeper, more meaningful connections. Women will be drawn to you not because you're flawless, but because you're genuine, real, and unapologetically human. It's time to drop the act, show your true self, and watch how it changes everything. Phrase 6. The curious observation. In the world of attraction, the curious observation is a powerful tool. Instead of using shallow compliments, make an insightful comment about something unique she does or how she approaches a situation. For example, "I noticed you were really calm when everyone else seemed stressed. How do you do that?" This makes her feel seen, appreciated, and sparks a deeper conversation. As Aristotle said, "The more you know, the more you realize you don't know." This observation isn't just about making her feel special, but it invites her to reveal more about herself, creating a genuine connection. In modern life, where most conversations are shallow, taking the time to notice and comment on these subtle traits sets you apart. It reflects emotional intelligence and is a key characteristic of a modern Stoic man: calm, aware, and deliberate. This approach not only attracts women, but fosters deeper relationships with anyone you encounter. It also taps into psychological triggers like FOMO. When you acknowledge something unique about her, it encourages her to engage more. The curious observation is your gateway to attraction, sparking curiosity and drawing her in. Don't rush. Simply observe, ask, and watch as the conversation deepens. Be confident and in control, like the Stoic man you are. Women are waiting to be seen, and you have the power to make them feel truly noticed. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Which phrase had the biggest impact on you? Where do you plan to use it first? What's your most significant aha moment from this video? I personally read every comment and will make sure to respond to the most thought-provoking ones. For those ready to dive even deeper, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. Next week, we're going to uncover a powerful technique, the two-corner eye trick, that makes women chase you. This is a strategy that has been used by some of history's most charismatic men. But remember, this isn't about memorizing lines or playing games. It's about becoming the kind of man who naturally attracts meaningful connections through confidence, self-awareness, and authenticity. I am John from the Blessing of Stoicism,